Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Outside the Field, guys. As we know, it is Start and Sit Saturday, and it is our favorite episode of the week. As always, it's your boy Chris Weideman and Mr. Jacoby Crabtree over there, and we really appreciate you guys tuning in for today. We got a great slate of players for you guys. I'm hitting on 75%. So if you listen to me, guys, you're like basically guaranteed your win this weekend. Like it's honestly just a guarantee at this point. So if you're not listening to me, that's kind of on you. Um, Crouchy, what's going on over there, man? I'm a little worried.
Well, earlier in the week, I had a co-host, my daughter Sailor, and my dog Sadie, just thought that was really unfair, and so she's actually going to be here today, giving you her picks and her starts and sits this week. I'm actually going to sit this one out, but she's going to let you know who she's thinking about starting and sitting this week for your fantasy team.
So,
So,
Sadie, who's your start of the week? The must start. I need to know.
Taylor Heineke.
Taylor, she really is her daddy's dog then if she's
Oh,
saying Taylor Heineke.
she might have gone through my notebook. So
Whoa, wait, so you're telling me these aren't Sadie's original opinions?
no. I mean, just like everybody else,
Oh,
the parents always give them their initial thoughts, but
that's tough.
they always come up with their own laters
All right.
after living out by themselves.
Well, now that Crabtree's introduced his dog and wasted enough of our time of the day talking about his dog, we'll hop right into our starts and sits of the week, guys. Week 6 ahead. Hopefully, you guys are doing really good in the standings, and hopefully this weekend's looking good. Buys are starting, so obviously it's a tough time. Injuries are honestly kind of piling up pretty quickly. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, the end of running back 2 is absolutely ugly. Just real ugly. I mean, Zach Moss is ECR 18 on the week, if that tells you anything you need to know, guys.
Don't we feel though like the RB1 status though is a lot bigger though than it has been in past years?
uh, I honestly thought that there was like 14 guys we could lump into RB1, but now with injuries and everything, it's ugly, man. Like a lot of the
Yeah,
top 10 guys, like they're kind of in and out right now, so it's a little
yeah.
touch and go. Like you got Chubb down, CMC, Cook have been, Saquon. I mean, it's tough out there, man. I mean,
No, I hear you. The injuries have been rough. I was just thinking, like, in my past years of doing this, I consider an RB1 that's like a top 10 finisher, but like this year, like realistically, like even those top 15, like those 5, 10 to 15, they're still putting up like pretty close numbers to what top 10 are. So I think the running back 2 is fallen off because we've like improved on the RB1 status.
um,
Sadie, not number
obviously
10.
we're talking about like guys at the edge of the positions that will be like looking at the start and sit. But I mean, Kareem Hunt, like, are we looking for top 5 upside this week?
Dude, Kareem Hunt, I don't know what's going on. I wouldn't be shocked with him getting a full workload, like just to see him just blow it. Just like, because like
That's what he did
that
last year, like proportionately to like what he got.
that just like is how like football goes. Like you don't get the full roll and you're putting up top 5 numbers, and then you finally get the whole roll and you just put a dud out. Like that's just how it goes.
All right. Well, with that being said, we'll hop right in. Who is your quarterback start of the sit? Obviously, not those top guys, but looking at the back edge of QB1.
Alrighty, guys. I think this is a common occurrence. I'm gonna take after Sadie with this one, but Taylor Heineke, and I know what you're thinking. Last week he looked so bad, and you're dropping him from your teams. But if you did, that was a mistake because he plays Kansas City Chiefs this week, and this is one of, if not the worst. It's not the worst, but one of the worst secondary right now, especially with so many people injured.
Hey,
So this
Juan
is
Thornhill got first team reps today over Sorensen.
Hey, that's good for us, but they're gonna need a lot more reps and a lot more practice before they'll get any better. So this is a week that I think Taylor Heineke smashes in. I honestly have him as a smash lock with QB high QB2 numbers, low QB1 numbers, in my opinion, just because of the atrocious defense that we have.
No, honestly, I'm not gonna be hyperbolic, guys. Over exaggerate. I think a top 5 to 7 finishes very well within the cards in a realm of possibilities. It's gonna be a shootout, guys. Honestly, neither defense is very good. Both of these offenses have been playing very well. McLaurin being out could put a small damper in things, so maybe keep an eye on that. But they said they're optimistic he gets out there this weekend. But obviously, big time play, big time call. I very much like it. My quarterback start of the week, guys, a little bit further down the list, but we're going to go Mr. Trevor Lawrence, guys. He's QB 16 on the week. He gets to go against a Miami defense, which last year Miami was a defense we stayed away from. This year, they are looking very, very, they're playing very bad, guys. They're honestly a defense you really want to target a lot of times. On top of that, Trevor Lawrence is looking more comfortable. He completed his most pass yards of his career last week, and he's getting involved in the run game, guys. He's gotten a few touchdowns on the ground lately. He's getting you probably 30, 40, 50, 60 yards, something he did in college a lot. So I think he's on the up and up, and he gets a great matchup here, guys. So I think Trevor Lawrence could definitely go out and smash for you this week. Well, not smash, but definitely have a solid week.
Yeah, that's I was not expecting you to say that, Sadie. I think your time is up. Oh, oh, jeez. All right. Yeah. Honestly, Chris, that was when I heard you say the name, I thought that was kind of a bold take. I haven't heard you bring up Trevor Lawrence in a while too, because
Yeah,
that's
he kind
interesting.
of fell off. So, but he's working his way back in. So, I feel pretty comfortable getting him out there this week.
I like it. I like it. Who you got for your sit this week?
This is a guy that I still think he can have a good season, guys. But I'm gonna explain why. But we're gonna sit Sam Darnold this week, guys, if at all possible. He's going up against Minnesota. And standard scoring, guys, since that first week, and it was the first 2 weeks. I don't remember who they played the first week, but they obviously played terribly. And then Kyler dropped like 38 standard QB scoring points on week 2. But since then, guys, they've held Goff to 6 points, Baker to 9 points, and Russell Wilson to 16 points. We need probably about 20 points to hit that QB1 range. And if they're holding Russell down, guys, I mean, this defense is definitely playing a lot better now. The season's getting a little on the way. So I kind of don't really see Sam Darnold having a great week, guys. So if I could see this honestly being a low scoring game, two strong defenses, just kind of run game heavy. So maybe get Hubbard out there and cook hopefully. But yeah, I'm gonna try to sit Sam Darnold if at all possible.
That's very interesting because my QB sit is actually Kirk Cousins on the other side of
Oh,
the
I
table.
like that.
I'm actually on board with this being kind of a run game too, so that's kind of what I'm thinking. Carolina also picked up some good pieces this week. Obviously, Gilmore's not playing this week; he's still got to recover from his injury. But they also picked up another key piece in the linebacker position, I believe it was. But I just Kirk Cousins started off really hot. Everybody was really excited about him, but his last few weeks have kind of shot down, and I think Carolina's a middle tier defense with upcoming potential. They just kind of hit some injury bugs, but yeah, I think Cooks is coming back healthy this week. He's not even on the injury report. I think they're going to look to give him the ball, and I think Kirk Cousins is probably somebody I would want to avoid this week if possible.
I agree, and I do agree. Small sidebar. Do you think that they try to use Madison to kind of limit Cook's like usage a little bit? No, full
No,
go.
he was a full time participant. I think on it was either Wednesday or Thursday, so I don't think he'll have any. He almost started. He honestly he could have played last week, but it was one of those like, hey, the prior week they pushed him to like the prior week he was like 80%, and they sent him out and he re-aggravated it, and he got down to like 60%. So they just gave him a full week off. They almost started him last week again and did him again at like 80%, but they
Yeah,
were like, hey, let's just take an extra week, get him back to 100%. So
I
I don't think that ankle's anything to worry about anymore.
I think the Dalvin Cook owners will be happy they made that decision later in the season. I know I didn't feel like it, but Moving on to the running back position, guys. I know I told you it's horrible, and it's so horrible I might even hit you with a name you're not even super familiar with, but we're going to roll out Khalil Herbert of the Chicago Bears, guys. He's going to get the starting nod. There's no Damian Williams. He's got COVID. Obviously, David Montgomery hyperextended his knee. So he's going to get the full workload, guys, and he honestly kind of split the workload last week with Williams and looked pretty good in it. They obviously want to run the ball and play defense. They're not trying to give it to Fields too much. So I could see him get a nice workload, and he's going to go up against Green Bay, a really, really easy pass. Sorry, guys. I got a call. I had to ignore that real quick, guys. I didn't mean to do him like that. But really good matchup, guys, and I think they're going to try to feed him as much as possible. My only worry would be they fall behind early and have to abandon the run. But that's going to be my start of the week at the running back position, guys.
Wow. I think Herbert is pretty interesting. Like, I think he's an interesting guy. I think he's good, but I don't agree with your call at all, though, because I do think they're gonna get down. I think this is one I can get you on. I'm excited. Chris, I don't know how Chris is doing this 75%.
Because I'm good.
Right.
Like, what do you mean?
Yeah. Whatever.
I don't even know what you mean. How are you doing this, bro? I study this. I sit here and I open up the sleeper app for you guys and just scroll for hours and hours and look at stats, and we work our way around, guys. And I promise you that I have a very thorough process and I look at a lot of different areas. And like I said, I'm not going to tell you it's a surefire thing, but I honestly feel good about this. I feel even if they fall behind, he gets some pass catching work. Even Damian Williams got 5 targets last week. That's obviously going to shift over to Herbert on that check down from Fields. So I think no matter what, he can give you the 10 points I need to hit for.
I mean, I definitely could see it. Like, I could. Like, I would just try to stay away from the Chicago offense in general right now, especially like Damian Williams was like the last guy like that I wanted. Like after that, I'm just trying.
We all just wanted David Montgomery, but
yeah, David Montgomery's honestly the man there. But I could see it because you consistently see that they're trying to give the ball to the running back, whoever it is, in some fashion. My RB start this week, I think, is probably one of the most pure, consistent RB2s out there. Last week he had a little bit of a rough week, but I think Chase Edmonds is a guy you can plug in. Expect some good RB2 solid numbers. He's put up plus 10 points in 4 of his 5 games that he's had this year. I think he's an exciting player. I think he's getting the role that he needs. Even if James Conner comes in and vultures some of these touchdowns, I think this is somebody, if he plays, that you can start. And if he doesn't play, I'm gonna plug James Conner in right in as well. Like I feel comfortable with either one. If Edmonds plays, he's the starter. Start him. If Edmonds is out, Conner gets the full workload. Also start him. If Edmonds plays, then I would not start Conner if that was me. But you're looking at somebody that puts up 14, 12, 15, and then 19 against some stout defenses so Tennessee's not stout, but Minnesota, like we were talking about.
Week 2, they weren't good yet. And they're still a team you want to run
on. And then they played the Rams as well, and he put up 18. Like that is
nice.
Last week he played San Francisco, so he plays Cleveland this week, which could be a little bit more interesting. I see it kind of being back and forth, slow paced game, trying to possession by possession. So I could see him putting up some great numbers this week.
Honestly, you got to roll Edmonds out there if you have him. I think he has been consistent enough that you have to have faith. But I would personally be a little worried. Outside of last week where Eckler exploded, which was obviously just a massive shootout, Cleveland's kind of held the running back position really well so far this year. So, I mean, he's probably going to get done through the air, and that's how he gets his points anyways, and that's why we like him in PPR a bit more. But, I mean, I could potentially see them kind of corralling him a little bit, and this honestly being a little bit of a lower scoring game. I think both of these defenses are playing really well, And I think the Arizona offense hasn't been as high scoring as when they first started the season. Not that they don't have that potential, but I could potentially see. So, like I said, it's 50-50, but I would get Edmonds out there if you have him at the end of the day. Who's your running back sit, though, my guy?
Oh man. I know I said this earlier in the season too, and I'm glad I mean anybody could see it coming. But Melvin Gordon is my guy that I'm having sit on my bench this week. This guy, like Cousins came into to the start of the season pretty on fire. They were started off 3-0, played against some pretty terrible teams, and that's why we're seeing these high end numbers. I hope you traded him when after that third week. If so, you were a genius. That's the best move you've made. But no, this is only gonna get more and more towards Javonte Williams. He's going to be the guy there, and more away from Melvin Gordon. They play the Raiders. I think that this is a week after they just lost John Gruden. They're going to come out, try to prove something right away, especially with the way they started being 3-0 and then coming back down to earth 3-2. I think that they're going to try to get out to a fast lead, and I just don't see this being in the game plan for Denver running the ball as much either.
I like the call. I mean, first and foremost, they're basically splitting the work 50-50. So because they're both not seeing necessarily a great amount of opportunity, like maybe 10 carries, couple targets, maybe a little higher on the carries, given on the week. But I mean, it's pretty hard for them to hit that 10 points that you need or would like to see. So especially like the Raiders isn't a bad running matchup, but it's not a good one either. And I kind of do agree that you traditionally see these coaches get fired midseason and somehow that team comes out and balls the next week. Maybe it's just like a little motivation to light some fire. You know, they all want to keep their jobs. They are professionals after all. And I do think that since the Broncos have started playing some stiffer competition, this team has honestly kind of stalled out as well. And I do think the Raiders are still a good team. I don't think they're necessarily great, probably not a playoff team, but I still think they're a good team. So yeah, I agree. I would probably sit Melvin Gordon if possible, but like we said, the running back position is very ugly. So hopefully you are have a couple of those guys or running back studs that you'd like to see. Um, my running back sit of the week is Mr. Damian Harris. They're going up against Dallas, guys. Dallas has honestly been a really good defense all year so far. I do see Dallas kind of running away with this one early. I don't think the Patriots can put up enough points to keep up with the Cowboys' offense right now. And because of that, they're going to have to abandon the run early. And Damian Harris has had a fumbling problem as of late. So you've seen some of these other running backs come in and get some extra work, which was really pretty exclusively Damian Harris's to start the season. So all in all, I think you got to sit Damian Harris this week, guys, if at all possible, which I hope it is for you.
That's a good call. I really like that.
Yes.
I really.
Receiver sit or receiver start.
Receiver start. I say this name quite often too, but damn, he's good. Tim Patrick, baby.
Oh my
Like I
god.
said, Tim Patrick. Okay, listen, this is a guy that is probably on your waiver wire right now. And you could probably go pick him up. And if he's on somebody's bench, probably not for long. This is a guy I see quite often just flipped in and out. But like, I just don't understand why. Like right now, Judy's out, and he's probably been the most consistent receiver option there. Like Sutton's been great, but he's been back and forth. Fant's been great, but again, he's also been back and forth. But Tim Patrick, like you know what you're getting out of him. He like each and every week he's had one bad game. The rest of it it's not anything special, but he's not getting anything lower than 12 points. So you got 14, 13, 15, then you're 7 and then you're 16. He's not going to get you above 20, but he's going to be your consistent receiver in that offense that's going to get the ball and get them moving. And like I said earlier, I think that this is a game where the Raiders come out on top early, and they got to throw to catch up and stay alive. And Tim Patrick's the guy that does it.
No, Crabtree and I were talking before the video today about how like a lot of the big time players in the NFL have more interesting names, and because Tim Patrick has literally the most boring name in all of professional football, I do think sometimes it's hard for us to get behind him. Not only that, but he's just like the most unsexy pick like ever. But he does perform more weeks than not. I mean, it's always like 10, 12 points, but that's kind of what you're hoping out of that flex, guys. If you're maybe a little receiver short, or if you got some injuries stacking up, you got a bye or two. So I mean, I agree. I mean, if you can get him out there, I mean, that's what you need to do. That's what you need to do. Um, this isn't
You
my.
got.
Hmm?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was gonna say, and you got to think this is only with like he's only got 2 touchdowns on the year. He's getting 4 targets,
I
five,
don't think that
six, and then
offense is scoring a lot of touchdowns. So
in his last game he had 9 targets. But who is your start of the week, Chris?
it's well. First, I want to just hit on Michael Pittman, guys. Like this isn't the guy I'm gonna get graded on, but he's been honestly just kind of looking like a steal right now. You probably got him as your receiver 4 or 5. Depending on the part of you drafted in this offseason. But he's looking really good, getting an incredible target share right now. He gets to go against Houston, so I would honestly look for him to have a smash week, guys. So get him in there for sure. But my actual receiver start of the week, guys, is Mr. Emmanuel Sanders. He's honestly just kind of balling, guys. He's had no less than 5 targets. He's consistently seen more like 6 or 8, which is really nice. He's actually, guys, right now outperforming Stephon Diggs, and I don't necessarily see that to continue, but I do think because he has really good matchup against Tennessee, guys, they are an atrocious defense. I think Emmanuel, and the Buffalo obviously doesn't really like to run the ball that much, so Emmanuel Sanders will continue to eat, Dawson Knox will continue to eat, and Stephon Diggs will continue to eat. So get Emmanuel Sanders out there, guys, and just be happy you got him probably off the waivers or late in the draft.
It's a beautiful call.
I think so. I said him last week, and he definitely did right by you if you got him out there.
I agree with you though that like I don't see like him like long term being the thing. I think the problem is Diggs isn't getting touchdowns right now, and I do see that changing.
But
Like
I still think like Emmanuel Sanders gives you like back end receiver 2, high end receiver 3 like value like all season. Like they clearly brought him in because they like what he brings to the team. They like his skill set, and he clearly has a pretty like vital role in this offense. So
yeah.
um,
Going forward, who's your sit of the week, Chris?
same like offense that I sat on for my running back. We are going to sit Mr. Jacoby Myers, guys. Mac Jones has just kind of been hit or miss. This is a tough Dallas defense, and I'm assuming more often than not, Jacoby Myers is going to line up with Trayvon Diggs, are probably defensive player of the or rookie of the year. So because of all these things, when you factor them in, guys, I'm probably going to try to sit Jacoby Myers if possible this week.
I actually hate that call, bro. Mac Jones just loves him some Jacoby Myers. As you just stated about Tim Patrick having the most boring name ever, Jacoby Myers has such an interesting name to me. I think this is something that
Is
they
it because
just
it's
like.
Jacoby?
Yeah, I no, bro. I'm being honest. Like Mac is gonna target his boy. He's gonna get. I bet you Jacoby gets with the gameplay and how they get down fast. I bet you Jacoby sees 10+ targets this week.
I don't know, like I'm not gonna say it's a lock, guys, but I would try to sit him. Like Trayvon Diggs he's a little lethal.
Yeah, Trayvon Diggs is the real deal. But I'm just saying, if Jacoby gets 10 targets, he's catching 5 of them at least. And that
For 50
I'm putting.
yards, though, is he catching? Because on the season, he does not average 10 yards per catch.
Oh, we'll find out, man.
Receiver sit of the week, Mr. Crabtree, and go.
Mine was so boring I had to yawn before, and I'll probably yawn afterwards as well. No, it's not bad. This is somebody like I'm actually considering with a flex spot for me just because I don't have any other options because I'm thinking about doing a trade with this guy. I don't know if I want to though.
No,
But
this dude literally told me he was going to look at it today. And then what does he do? Look at trading the same player. Instead of looking at our deal, he looks at potentially making a trade with someone else with this player. Like, this man always be playing games. Like,
bro, I'm 2-3, about to be 2-4, and I had to bite a bye week to do this. I don't know, bro. Oh no, I gotta think. I gotta think. We'll see. We'll see what happens tomorrow. We'll let y'all know. But my sit this week is Darnell Mooney. This guy has
Darnell
been a
Mooney.
he's been a boomer bust guy catching the long balls or not catching the long balls, and I think that this is not the week that he's going to catch one. Yeah, if at all possible, sit Darnell Mooney and honestly Allen Robinson too. Don't start him.
I don't know because the Green Bay defense is missing a lot of pieces, and as we did say, they're probably going to fall behind early. So I mean, I'm not going to sit here and bank on Darnell Mooney, and I would probably want to sit him. But if like it's between him and like Amon-Ra St. Brown, I'd probably like maybe go Darnell Mooney. Like it just like kind of depend on your roster. Um, but I don't know. I probably want to sit Darnell Mooney too. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Tight ends. How you feeling about the tight ends this week?
Pretty good. I went more towards the middle to end pack. I feel like this is some good ones, but they show up every once in a while. But Tyler Higby right now, I feel like is doing pretty decent. They're doing little screen passes for him all the time. They're getting him looks. I think this is a guy that's going to get you somewhere from 12 to 16 points. Just depends on whether a touchdown happens or not. Obviously, the offense is electric. So yeah, Tyler Higby, if you got him, put him in your lineup. Feel confident with it.
Okay. I think if you have Higby, you're probably putting him out there most weeks unless you have a better option. Like maybe you got lucky with like a Schulter or Knox off the waiver wire. But I don't know. He's just kind of like he is what he is. Like you don't ever feel good about having him in your lineup, but he just is your tight end
Feels,
basically.
he feels more like a receiver to me.
He does, but
Who do you got as your start?
I actually got two for you guys, and chances
Just one.
are, no, I'm giving you two.
Oh, you can only have one.
No, I'm
That
giving.
that boosts your scores, Chris.
It
You
does.
can only
It
have
literally doesn't. Like you say this every
no
time.
boost. You okay? You can say both, but you have to pick one for
I'm
everyone.
leaving them both. So these guys are both probably on your waiver wires, and that is
Whichever one you say first is the one I'm counting.
that is Dan Arnold and Ricky Seals Jr. So
Arnold.
Dan Arnold for the Jaguars, he just got here, guys, and this was his like basically his first full week, and he led the team in target share. Rookie QBs love their tight end, and like I said, we're gonna start Trevor Lawrence. If we're gonna start Trevor Lawrence with confidence, should be his main target for the week, and it's like I said, a really good matchup. So I'm gonna put Dan Arnold out there and feel good. Ricky Seals Jr. stepped in last week for Logan Thomas. He got a really nice target share for what you kind of hope. He gets, like we said, with Taylor Heineke. Once again, a really good matchup. So we're going to trust the QB here. We're probably going to trust the tight end option related to them if they have enough target share. And I have enough faith in both of these guys to go out and at least give you 10, 12 points this weekend with their good matchup. So I'd pick up, if they're out there, guys, go pick them up if you need a tight end and just put them in there and feel good.
Everyone heard that right. Dan Arnold is his lock this week.
I'm cool with that,
All right.
guys.
Who you got for your sit, sir?
Jared Cook of the Chargers, guys. He's ECR 13. Why are you looking at me? Oh, I'm assuming yours is Jared Cook then. No, guys,
Yes, bro.
I'm not gonna lie, guys. I had to look very hard. It took me a long time to figure this one out, guys. And it's not even like it's a bad matchup. It's just that I don't even think we can trust Jared Cook's production into this offense right now. It's not consistent. If he doesn't get the touchdown, it's literally a bust. Mans is like 87 years old, and when he runs, there's dust falling off him behind him. And I just don't like he's already busted 3 times this year. I mean, if you want to bank on his touchdown, that's cool. But I'd rather go start Dan Arnold or Ricky Seals Jr. and get my guaranteed points. So
No, guys, I'm laughing because that's exactly who I picked this week too. I did pick Jared Cook. And just so you guys know, this is something that like he makes his list, I make my list. We don't really talk about it, and then we just kind of see what happens here. So, but no, like I think like if you have Jared Cook on your roster, like I'm more than likely you're streaming tight ends. Like you probably have a Jared Cook, you probably have a Hunter Henry, like you probably have those type of players on your team, and you're probably just plugging in. It's not a bad play because Jared Cook is on one of those offenses that's just electrifying. Like the Chargers are the real deal, and they're putting up points. Like Chris was saying, I do feel like Jared Cook is a little bit more touchdown dependent. And he's boomed 2 weeks and he's bust 3. So I think this is a week that he busts, like Chris says, because I obviously have him as my sit. And this is a guy that,
You like
hey,
when
if you
he
have
bust? I'm sorry. I don't know why I did this.
So we're just gonna sweep that under the rug. And we're never gonna vacuum that up.
Jared Cook's bust.
Jared Cook is busting all weekend long, so lock it in.
No. Okay, guys. Okay. So
Jacob left the frame.
sorry, guys. We're back, but that is our starts and sits of the week, guys. Jared Cook, big time bust. That's all you need to take away from this video. I said, please take Jared Cook out of your lineup. He's busy.
Please hit the like and subscribe. We'll see you next week.
Thank you guys, seriously, for tuning in. You guys are honestly the best, and we really do appreciate you guys. We wish you the best of luck this weekend, guys. Go out there and get dubs for us, because as you hear, he has to start Darnell Mooney, so that does not sound like a dub this weekend if he's telling you to sit him, and he's probably going to start him. So thank you guys very much, as always. Please hit the like and subscribe, and we will see you guys next time. Have a great day.